Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sadashiva Samarambha, Shankaracharya Madhyama, Asmadacharya Pajanda, Vande Guru Parampara, Sakana Vavadu, Sakanopanaktu, Sakavidyam Karavabhaki, Tejasvina Vaditam Akshavake, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskaram. It's a beautiful Guru Purnima day, and Balaji gave a wonderful lecture on the right things. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. So he is such a divine personification. The divinity came as a Vyasa, Veda Vyasa. So he has celebrated the Vedas. He gave all the Puranas, and this day is supposed to be at least a day that we can consciously pray our namaskaram to the Gurus. And also it's beautifully, Gayatri Mantram was explained by Balaji. It's very interesting because I think Bhagavad Gita is it's kind of a great feast which gives you bhakti, yoga, karma, Veda, everything. So I was just asking Balaji's advice, because I think in this feast that is offered every Sunday, if it brings in bhakti, jnanam, and Vedanta vicharam, it'd be so beautiful. And he so eloquently did this morning about bringing out bhakti sadhanas and upasanas. Gayatri Mantram is upasanas. And it's very important to understand the meanings of it. Like he was laboring the point about naha. Diyo yo naha prachodhyayat. Sometimes we don't even say naha, we say diyo yo na prachodhyayat. Na means not. The whole meaning will change. I don't want this knowledge. You pray to God, say, God, don't give me the knowledge. So this is why I think the Pada Vicharam, the Guru's Vakyam should be very deeply intense, internalized. So we're looking forward to gain more of this knowledge. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mukshunam Hidataya Tattva Bodha Abhidiyate. So we are discussing Tattva Bodha, and this is Sri Shankara Bhagavad Bhatha's Pranidam. So what he has offered to us. We've gone through this 3 sessions before. We have identified that the Adhigaratvam, the qualification to do the Vedanta Vichara, is what is taken up in this Grantha. It's called a Prakarana Grantha. Very simple text, except the first verse, Mangala Charanam. Everything is a prose. In your leisurely time, just read through it. Even if you do not know Sanskrit, it's much easier to learn. Sanskrit is the most easiest language to learn. So this will be useful to study that. So we have gone through Vivekam and Vairagya. Vivekam means Nitya Nitya Vastu Vichara. What is eternal, what is ephemeral. So we have to understand that one. And there are a lot of Vivekas about what is right and wrong, good and bad, Karana, Karya, cause and effect. Like that, you can dissect anything. In every science we do these dissections. Viveka is applied. Therefore, Shankara qualified that the Viveka that we need to focus on, the Viveka that discriminates the objects that we deal with, to give us a knowledge whether it is eternal or temporal in nature. And we also identified the reason for that, because the moment you know something is eternal, you have a very different approach to it, and something ephemeral. Like for example, you have a train journey and you be very good with a fellow passenger, but he's going to go next stop is going to go up and go away, and you're not going to regret about it because you know it's temporal. So therefore your context of dealing changes. So depending on, the temporal permanence is very difficult for human mind to comprehend. So that's why we say Ananta Kodi Janmam. So Koti is such a big number. So therefore, compared to our momentary life, even Brahma has got certain yugas of life. So it's a relative part of it. But everything is temporal in nature, because anything that you can see, even One Rishi says that because of you see, things get destroyed. The moment you see, Drishyam is Maranam. Anything you see, it decays, it goes away. So therefore, whatever we see is therefore is temporal in nature. It's not a tragedy. It's the nature of it. Yeah. So the Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekam is the first one we saw. Then we say Vairagyam. So we just read it once and then we take it from there. Sadhana-Chatushtaya Sambandhadikarinam Moksha Sadhana Bhutam Tattvega Prakaram Pakshamaha. Then the student is asking the questions and then the teacher responds back. Sadhana-Chatushtayam Kim Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha Iha Mutrartha Balabhoga Viragaha Samadhi Sharka Sambhattihi Mokshutvam Cha Eti. Therefore, Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekam, and the dispassion about what you enjoy in this world and the life after, Shama, Samadhi, and etc., plus the desire for liberation. Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaka Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tat Vyatariktam Sarvam Anityam Ayameva Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaka Viragaha Kaha Iga Swarga Bhokeshu Icha Rahityam Samadhi Sadhana Samvrittika Samo Dhamo Uparadis Titiksha Shraddha Samadhanam Chaiti Shamaha Kaha Mano Nigraha Damaha Kaha Sakshukradi Bahyendriya Nigraha Uparama Kaha Swadharma Anushtanam Eva Tidiksha Ka Sidoshna Sukha Dukkhadi Sagishnutvam Shraddha Ki Trasihi Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwasha Shraddhaha Samadhanam Kim Chintaiga Kridha Mukshutvam Kim Mokshomi Bhuyat Idi Ichaha Edat Sadhana Chatushtayam Tat Viveka Adhigharano Bhavanti. So this 13 sentences closes the first chapter, and now we take from where we left. Knowing just to give you the context, we finish with the Vairagyam, which is the most difficult thing to do. Vairagyam is not hate, it is managing without entanglement. Being involved but not affected by things. And we also saw, which is a very important thing, how do we cultivate that? Two things. First is the Vivekam, that you discriminate whether it's Nitya or Anitya, so that it may give you some relative context of dealing with this. The second important point, which we mentioned, is Dukkha Dosha Anusantana. Anything you look at it, you look at the defects of it. Anusantana means, Anu means continuous, like Anupallavi, continuous thing. You think about that, the defects of things which is going to cause trouble for you. It is not being negative in approach, it is being realist in approach. Therefore, you would still enjoy, hold it, but you will be prepared for its eventual loss. So we've gone through that one. But now you can see the intellectual aspect is gone. I can think about all this, everything is fine. I understand it is not eternal, therefore I would not put my attachment to it. All that is intellectually sits very well. But emotionally it is not. Is it not? How can you not love the person that you have with so much attachment to them? Therefore, the shift now moves from the intellectual aspect of your consciousness to but emotional aspect of it. Therefore, this is more difficult. You are now talking about not anymore the intellectual part, but an emotional part for which you have an instrument called the mind. Therefore, I'm going to ask you to get some qualifications in dealing with this mind. This is what I love about Vedanta, because everything is not for some esoteric, ethereal pleasures. That's something that you cannot imagine in this world. Every preparation is going to make you do better in this world. Even if you do this, a Jignasu goes through these Vedantic lessons, for whatever reason, either he gets bored or he gets some life pressures, takes him away from Vedanta class, he will not regret it, because every step he takes through has already prepared him. So here the preparation is on the mind. So the Sashya is asking, Samadhi Sadhana Sampatti Kam. What is this Sama? Shama means equilibrium of mind, mental poise. Adi means those onwards or etc. That means that something else is there. So peace of mind, etc. Sadhanas, the exercise. Sampattihi. Sampattihi means it's a wealth, it's a prosperity, it's an endowment. See, he did not even say this to Viveka and Vairagya, but this is the Sampattihi, because there is a very great insight into this, because the mind that you have is more closer to the body that you have. You're going to understand that both mind is also the inert, insentient embodiment, but it is more closer and it is subtle. It is in the Bodha, that like the Bhagavad Mantra we say, it is going to go in the very subtle world, is going to go. So when somebody is dead in this world, when he leaves the gross body, the Sukshma Sariram, which is made up of the mind, is going to go to find a new body. So this Manas is a great sadhanam. Therefore, its bad news is now we were thinking about only 4 sadhanas to do. We already done 2 more, done with this, then we can get on with this. But unfortunately, here the Acharya is giving quite a few. In fact, 6 is going to give. Samo Dhammo Uparati Titiksha Shraddha Samadhanam Cha Iti. Samaha means the mental control, mind control, controlled mind. Damaha, controlled senses. Uparamaha or Uparati is sustaining this Sama and Dhamma by giving up other things. We'll see what it is. Titiksha means forbearance, patience, calmness. Shraddha, we talked about committed learning, dedication, trust, faith. Samadhanam is not the Tamil Samadhanam, to make peace, but here Samadhanam means to be poised. Cha is a conjunction, and iti. We will not explain in great detail because it's going to come. But the interesting thing is the Sampatihi. It is an important, in fact, Bhagavan has finished Bhagavad Gita in the 20-odd verses in chapter 2, the whole of Gita. Atmajnanam is given there. And everything else is an expansion of how to attain it. And in this, he spends almost 3 full chapters on giving you how to prepare your mind for it. See, we don't really treasure things. Now, things possessed like the rest, and not possessed, it's the best, is it not? So when it is not there to you, it is the most interesting thing. When it is there with you, you don't really worry about it. How many of us think about breathing? No. Only when you have this problem comes in, breathing becomes difficult, you see the value of it. But this is also a beauty of it. How many of us worship, look at sun and wonder about it? No, sunlight is given. So that's the subhavam of great karma yoga sadhanams. When things are given and it is taken for granted, that is there. So manas is taken as granted, we really don't worry about that. That's why it is sampattihi. So therefore it is understand and refine the mind. So first time we are asked by the Vedantic gurus, go and understand your mind and the subtle faculties of the mind. This is very important. We can do all these things, all this pranayamam, bhakti, shraddha, slogans. All that is first to be cultured. It has to be taken as a good faith, having them as a pramanam. But comes at a time, instead of reciting a Sahasranamam in a jet speed in 5 minutes, you go by word. In one word, you may get stuck. Same way, your body, we never look at your body. We never understand this body. So here you're talking about the subtleness, mind. So therefore, understand the faculties. By understanding it, you can fine tune it. If you understand the car, if it is a fuel injected car, what kind of fuel you should put, you can do the right one. Therefore, it is pristine and does well. We got this great possession in this body. Jandunam Narajanma Durlabham. Therefore, this body and mind have to be maintained well. Why? The prayojanam, you should always ask, because it is going to unleash the immense potential. Immense potential. Anything can be done. How it is possible? Because if you are the Satyam, that's what the Vedanta is saying, then anything Satyam says should be Satyam. That's the reason why the elders say at home, never say bad words. Tadastu, everything happen, let that happen like this. It's in every book. In Bible it is there, Quran it is there. Speak good words, because the Chaitanyam is in you. You are it is a very touching statement. You are the God. But it has to be taken with such a obedience, because it is the most superlative. It's not a flattery. I mean, say, Vedanta is not flattering you. It looks like a flattery. Every glory, no other scriptures, no other religion, no other textbooks gives you the flattery. Like that way that is. Brahmeva Satyam, Advaitam. I am Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. I have that. How can that be? My mind is full of greed, jealous, anger, dirt, filth. How can I be equated to that one? That's why to understand this, you have to start looking at your faculties in which you are doing this. So that's why it is. So he has given you 6. So the very committed disciple is going to pick up on everyone. So he's going to asking, okay, what is samaha? Samaha kaha? Mano nigraha. Remember, this is about the mumukshu. Mumukshu has achieved all these things. Therefore, the Acharya is not just giving him, reminding him, okay, you're asking again, what is samaha? That is mano nigraha. You already got it. But we are not. We are far away from this. So we need to understand what is mano, what is nigraha. So first of all, you should know what is mind. And why it is such a difficult thing. I am a controller of everything. I control 100 employees in my job, and I can control the crowd. I can talk well. I can hypnotize people. No, all this is all temporal. You just cannot. So the Mahabahu is Arjuna. So Arjuna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sanchalam Himanaha Krishna. Pramadi Balavat Vidam. Tasyagam Nigraham Manye Vayoriva Krishna. Krishna, my mind is full of sanchalam. It is like, it's a beautiful example here, like tying the air. Can you bind the air? So it is so beautiful poetry here. Arjuna is saying, Krishna has been telling him, look, control the mind, get on, focus. Krishna, you can talk all these things, but it is so difficult. It's just moving here and there. Sanchalam means just oscillating, vacillating, dithering. And it is tying it like, like tying the air. So Bhagavan, of course, Bhagavan says, respond to him, this asamsyo, asamshayam mahabaho, mano durnigraham. Abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena grihyate. Abhyasam and vairagyam. Arjuna, yes, it is difficult to do. See, the first thing is, when you go to the teacher and say, look, this is very difficult, the teacher says, oh, it's so easy, it hurts you, isn't it? So I'm so incapable. So you get a complex. A good teacher will empathize. Absolutely, Arjuna, it is a difficult thing to do. Then the students say, yeah, okay, even the teacher finds it difficult. Then he tells him, but you can do it. Only you need two things. You need abhyasam, practice, and the vairagyam. Of course, in these two things, you should include the Sadhana-CHATUSHTAYam. So therefore, even Arjuna, the Mahabahu, who knows everything, so beautiful, rich, handsome, powerful, and he says he can't do anything, who are we to talk about it? Therefore, the Mano Nigraha is a very, very difficult task to do, even it is not possible for Arjuna. Therefore, the two words, Nigraham and Manam. So let's look at each word. What is mind? And this is a very difficult question. I mean, it has been in the scientific community for many, many, many centuries. There was some glimpse of hope in the early centuries where this cognitive sciences become a part of the medical field, and then in the mid-30s, it becomes a part of the neuroscience. So they started putting the mind as a part of the brain function. Brain identity theories are come there. So it's basically a biochemical reaction that creates this feeling. So therefore, the one part of the medical community and science community still look at it mind as a radiance of power by the chemicals in the neurons that are biochemically generating pulses. And they can prove it because they can compare when somebody is smiling, that the chemical is coming there, somebody is not smiling, something goes through. Therefore, they are comparing the effect to the cause. Therefore, that causes this. Therefore, that is where the mind sits. But there is a branch of science also now, driven by this research on the quantum, on the psychology, on the parapsychology, and hundreds of literature there in the thing there. And they talking about, Stanford did a big research in '75 about giving the suicide notes of the people to the volunteers and some of the fake notes as well. From reading these notes, can you identify whether the person committed suicide or not? And I won't go into detail, but it went on 3 different pseudo testing to come to the hypothesis. See, the thing is, it's called in the medical term, hypothetical deduction model. What they do, they collect data from many objects. Science is an objective stuff. So they collect data. Lots of data collected, unbiased, of course, as much precision possible. That's step 1. Then you analyze the data science. You analyze it, and when you analyze many things, you always see a pattern. When you look at the cloud, and the white clouds looks like a elephant sitting there. I can see in the blue sky. So the patterns emerges. The so-called thing that we are trying to define the mind, see patterns. So the science deduce the patterns. From these patterns, they deduce some hypothesis. Then the next step is take the hypothesis and go test it out in a simpler way, elementary way. Yes, no, maybe not. The test is done. That's the third step. The fourth step is they take the results from these studies. The result may give a new hypothesis or change what has been before done, and they come with a new hypothesis, which is more or less solid. Then the fifth step is this established hypothesis called a clinical test. They replicate and repeat so that it becomes a norm. So far, nothing has been proven, but the pattern, the statistics, the model. So the precision of any measurement in objective science is subject to a great bias. It is not a limitation of science, a limitation of the mind. Therefore, we are using the mind to define the mind. See, I may digress a bit, but I think it's useful to discuss this. You know, the precision is the important point. How are we better than the science? Why is Vedanta or the Shastric knowledge or the Indian knowledge is better? My daughter always complains to me. Anything I say, it's in India. She gets, all you Indians think anything in West is in India. You know, this is kind of a positive bias we have. But the precision is very important for Vedanta in Nyaya Shastra. If you look at it, what is that we are arguing about is not a substantive stuff. You look at the name and the form. Everything we discuss is the definition. All the religion accepts there's only one God. Even the Vedantic religions, even the Vedic schools, Saivam, Vaishnavam, Shaktam, Ganpatiyam, everything accepts there's only one God. But they have a figure for it. I have a Shiva, I have a Vishnu, I have this. So I will not pray to Shiva, I will not pray to Vishnu. Why we do that? Because we take our position to the context of personification of something which is undefinable, and that personification is what closes my heart. Therefore, the definition plays an important role. So in Nyayas, which Vedanta also uses, now there are three things. One is called Uddhesa. Uddhesa means Lakshya, a name. Okay, now I'm going to analyze something. What I'm going to analyze? I'm going to analyze the Drishtanta is normally a cow. I'm going to define a cow. Go. So Uddhesa means definition of nominating something. So I'm nominating cow. Okay, we're going to do that for the manas and everything later. Right. Then how do I define the cow? So if I say the cow is, I know I have a cow in my house, its color is in black, therefore cow is black. So the second step that you are telling is called a Lakshana. So Desa is not naming it Lakshana. If you say Lakshana is cow is black, that will not fulfill this answer, because the blackness is not just for the cow alone. Cow is there everywhere. Blackness is there everywhere. There are black hearts. So this Lakshana, therefore, has got a dosha, a fault. It's called avyapti. Vyapti means the elucidation, avyapti. Very shortened, under extension, under definition, because the blackness goes everywhere. Then I say, no, the cow is the one which has got the 4 legs, for example. Again, you will say, no, the sheep has got 4 legs. So now what happened is now you're bringing another animal into this definition. You're extending the definition. Therefore, shortening is avyapti means extending is adivyapti. So the second fault is that. You see, so I can't define this one. Therefore, I need to really find something which is very unique. So therefore, they say Sashna. Sashna was called Dilap. Dilap is the skin or the muscle under the lower jaw of the cow to the chest. There's a skin just hanging around the cow. Have you seen it? That is only for the cow. It is not in horse or anything like that. Therefore, he may use the word that which has got this Dilap. So therefore, you have a uddesam, a naming of it, a lakshanam, a definition of it, a pariksha. You have to validate it now. So you go and look for every animal. Is it satisfying this? Yes, there is a Dilap. So it must be a cow or a bull. So this is very important. Of course, you can still go further. In the lakshana becomes Padak Lakshana, Vivti Lakshana, Swarupa Lakshana, and so on and so forth. We will go into detail later. So what I'm saying therefore is the definition of mind is so difficult to pinpoint, but we need to study the mind so that only by studying the mind I can refine it. Therefore, I need to have a definition which is relatively dosham free so that I can use the definition to understand anything. So I think one of the lessons we should do in life, in anything that we come across, a new knowledge, understand the word, what it defines. The definition, is it fault free or not? So before we jump into reading many explanations without knowing the definition, we will get into a wrong sense of idea. Sorry, I just digressed it. So the next part is controlling it. Okay, now we need to get definition of it. Once I got a mind is defined, I must control it. How do I control the mind? Arjuna could not do it. So we must use the first tool, Viveka. What sort of Viveka I should use it now? Should I bring the Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka? No. You have to bring it, for example, Karta Karana Viveka. Karta means one who is doing things. So if I am talking now, if I am teaching, I am a Karta. If somebody is cooking, she is cooking, she is a Karta. One that does a karma. Karana, you remember we talked about Pramanam, which gives you the Karana. Karana is an instrument. So we can use a Viveka, intellect, in an object of analysis, whether it is a Karta or Karana. See, suppose I buy a car, say I buy the new car from Google, which is a self-driving car. Okay. So I sit on a car, I am normally used to the car, I drive the car, I've been driving for many years, good driver, no points. I use the car, I drive around. Car is my instrument. I bought this new car, automated car, assuming that it is well proven. I take a ride on it. But imagine it goes on its own, everywhere. What will happen? Disaster. With that Chetanam that this car has got, a software encoded into this IC chips on this one, it took this artificial intelligence or whatever this component it is there and takes its own decision and move around. What is happening? The Karana, which is the instrument, is behaving like a Karta. You are just sitting there, panicking. So what do? You would immediately dismantle the car, pull the plug, go back to your old car. My God, I love my car now, because I am in control. Now the question is, how often we see the mind as a karana? Is your mind, of course we haven't got the definition yet, let's assume that we will now have the definition, but we know that that's what we are using it. Is it behaving like a karana or a karta? I want to attend this class Sunday morning, but there's a soccer match going on. Mind says, anyway, this will be recorded, it will come in the thing, we can, Aram say we can watch it. Let's watch this one. Ego. Mind won, you lost. In 99.9 time, we are driving the Google's car. Mind is the karta. Not well encoded software, full of bugs, crashes, reboots, takes you somewhere else. You think you recovered. You never take control. So this vivekam, therefore, will give you two ideas. One is to Laukika idea to become the karta, to get control. See, we're not controlling yet, but you have now the belief that you have the control. You must take the control. So you can't do any task unless you know that you ought to do the task. Is it not? Otherwise, your interest and motivation, no, otherwise you'll be not doing it wholeheartedly. So, mano nigraha, so you control the mind. So first of all, my question is, I don't know how to control, but should I control? That's why now this karana karta vivekam tells me, of course I must control. I am the karta. The mind is a karanam. So this needs a lot more thinking. It also gives you another insight. When I come home, when I put the ignition off, this wonderful Google car is a junk. It's just a plastic material sitting there, no intelligence. All this fantasy it was doing on the road, wavering around, threatening me, now like a pussycat, dead pussycat, inert. Therefore, if my mind is therefore a karanam, is it also inert? Is it also a dead matter? Is it a matter? You see, in the Western culture, we have been always told mind over the matter. We use the phrase very casually because that's just a matter. I am full of mind, mindful. I say mind is something superior to matter. It's like a Google car talking about every other car as a junk material. So we have to first ensure that mind is a matter. Mind in our culture, in our Sanatana Dharma, manam is a jadam. It's a jadam. This understanding liberates you. This understanding gives you the control in your hand. If this mind is jadam, inert, insentient, how does it think? How does it do? How does it write poetry? How does it give lectures? How does it listen to things? Is it something given to the mind? If that is so, who is giving that to the mind? What is being given? What is the dosage that we should do to control it? Therefore, there's a dichotomy comes in between the mind and something that gives that power to the mind. You understand? So the very word, that's the reason why Padavicharam is very important. Every word has got pregnant meaning. You must ask the question. Control means, now I know I must control. Now I know that controlling means not giving the power that it needs. If I need to control, the power should be with me. Otherwise, I can't control it. Therefore, it suddenly boosts my position that I am the adhikari of the mind. I do not know what is adhikara. But it gives me the knowledge because it is giving me a hope. Hope is the first step to learning. Therefore, the mind should be the best servant. Could never let be a bad master. This is a very famous saying everybody says. I just use the same thing. So here, in this word, in this phrase, we are given the option of, not option, the condition of controlling the mind. As a Prakarana Grantha, it does not tell you how to control, what's the prayojana. Therefore, as the tradition of these classes, we will know, we saw what is samaha, what's the importance of it, what is manonigraha. Now we see how to attain it and what's the benefit. So the definition, we will go into the detail if we get the Bhagavan's grace, time to study the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. There is a definition which is very useful. It says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodhaha. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodhaha. Here it defines the yoga, but also defines the mind. The mind is something, see, I'll give you some insight. Let's just say that which gives the power of knowing. For the lack of better words, I would like to use the word Atma, but we'll have questions. Let's use the word consciousness very loosely. The consciousness is that which gives the power to the mind. What is the Darshana? How do you prove it? Very simple. Somebody is dead, there's no consciousness, there's nothing sensible going around. But there's a danger there. Then you think that there's something called soul, or in Tamil we call it uir or prana, and that what gives that thing. So just park the question for a minute. For a living being, the chetanam comes from the consciousness. Therefore, understanding mind by mind is now resolved. We don't have that kind of a problem. Mind is already a matter. It can be controlled. But this has to be done by the consciousness. Therefore, I must be with the consciousness. I'm using this word very erratically. Say I and consciousness as if they're two different things, but let's just bear with me. So I must use the consciousness to define and control the mind. So to make this easier, the Vedantic schools, or also yoga schools, and Sankhyas also did the same thing, divide this into 4 parts. A part of the consciousness by which a physical matter can be excited. Again, I give the example, no, you just take example only for this purpose, nothing beyond. By giving electricity to a light, to lighter. A magnet to give a magnetism to another conductive material. Only that example. So that part which get excited by the things outside. That means anything that is out there, maybe it's a fire that when I touch it, it gives me heat or whatever. So that senses that gives me an effect in my part, and it creates what's called a vritti, a ripple, a chalana. So imagine consciousness as an ocean without any waves. And a part of this thing, a dust particle drops. Recognizing a dust particle, see, dust has fallen, a recognition has to be there to have a ripple. The mind also, the mind is that part of this consciousness, manas, is that part of the consciousness in which the external impulses create a vritti. I use the word manas instead of mind. The mind is only word English for everything else. So the manas is that it comes from the root called man. Man means to think. Don't think, therefore it has got a power to think. No, the thought happens like the weeds comes in the earth. You can never think. This is another challenging statement for you to contemplate. You never think. You witness thoughts. You can say, okay, let me think. No, you can say you think. You say, let me think. You make a word, and you wait. A thought comes to you. It's a very subtle difference. It's very difficult to understand, but very easy once you contemplate on it deeply. You are the witness to the thought that comes to you. That's the reason why the great rishis, when they do the mantras, Upanishad, they say apurusheya. So always a question comes in. Vedas are apurusheya. That means how come that comes there? The rishis who see these mantras, the seers, it comes into the thought and it comes into the word. So here today we write something, then we put our name, IP, copyright, registered, printed. It's my work, everything we do. You are just an instrument because the thought has come to you. Therefore, you write a poetry, write a book, write a philosophy, write a thought. I mean, who else have to witness it than Einstein? He never warned that he did this. He said, it occurs to me. Therefore, thought happens, like the dust particle comes. Dust is a chetanam. See what is a chetanam. I just give an example, ripples come in. So the consciousness, there is a part where the vritti comes in. See, if you take a canvas, blank sheet of canvas I put in there, I take a ball and hit the ball on this one. The ball goes and hit the canvas, and you see the canvas just goes in like this. Can you see it? It's in a ball shape. The effect of ball is called pratyati, in effect. The mind shapes like a ball is a vritti. You understand? When the vritti comes, the consciousness contemplates the shape of the vritti. Okay, this is a three-dimensional object called a ball. The same thing what I said, an able neuroscientist will be able to explain in the medical terms, in the biological terms. How the neurons get these pulses, how the chemistry get this, how this nodal network creates a neuro-linguistic programming happens. You have shape forms, it generates, but much simpler. Take this canvas, hits it, you are sitting behind the canvas, you see the shape of the ball, you comprehend, a ball hit me. You, the sitting behind this canvas, is a consciousness, as Atma, Chaitanyam. The Chaitanyam gave the canvas, it was absolutely straight, Mano Nigraham, Mano Nasam, nothing, the mind doesn't exist, just a plain thing. A place where is ready to receive impulses. The ball comes in, prakriti comes in, hits it, shape forms in, see the ball. You see me now, my shape comes and hits your consciousness. I come into existence. All this happens in such as Durida Kale. You don't even know it. You know, you buy this multi-process computers, multi-course computers, can do many things at one time. No. Software guys will tell you, because you can have multi-processing systems, but everything will have master controller. There's one system, there's a timer which slices the time. It gives you time, so each processor does many things at the same time. It's so small, you think it's doing so many things at the same time. No, one at a time. So What I'm trying to say, I just lost my track. So, but how do we get this all into practice? Well, this sounds very intellectually challenging, but I want practice. That's why Vedantas took some part of the Yoga Shastra, Yoga Darshana, only some part, I say, very underlined part, which is useful for practicing it. So I've given a canvas example for the mind. You must already know that mind is an inert object. You're going to make sure that you're going to purify it, make it better. I got a definition where the thoughts comes in the mind. Now I'm going to go to yoga and take yoga's guidance in slicing them further. So it gives you few states. The first state is called Muda state. It's a state of mind. Mind is there. It is dull. Alasya. Nitra. Sleep. You are in a position like that. In a day, your biorhythm, at some stage, nothing is interesting. Now you just want to sleep. Either you are sleeping or you are already in a sleeping mode. The ball may hit, but it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Next one is called Shipta. Shipta is like everything is poured in. It's like, you put a mirror and everything coming through. Bhagavan says in Darshana-Chatushtayam, this is very astonishing. When you look at a mirror gets everything, right? Mirror doesn't select, I want to see this particular person only. Everything appears in front of it. Like a darshan. This manas is like this. Everything is there, it is coming to this mind. But the thing behind this mind, the guy watching the ball hitting the canvas, only looking for a ball, a dirt comes and hits it, a little robin comes and hits it, he doesn't notice it. Why? He chooses not to notice it. What is the proof for it? The proof is, you can go to internet and find this one. There are many tests done, and I remember one I studied in 1967, where this kind of guy who've been they've been analyzing him, and then this psychologist come in, and New York State University, and then they do a psychoanalysis on him. In mind hypnosis, and they take him back in the mind and ask him to read the mind. Basically, the canvas, the consciousness is evoked. Okay, go back in time. Canvas is there. Tell me what all hitting now. The ball hit, yeah, fine. Can you check for something else? Then he's able to see the robin hitting the screen, dust particle hitting the screen. This depends on the power of the purity of his mind. What it means is that drishtam sarvam dhanite. Anything that you see, anything you see goes into mind. Vivekananda is a very beautiful incident of Vivekananda's life. Swami Vivekananda is a voracious reader, great writer, great speaker. We all know that. So he gets his disciple to go to the library and draw the book from him every day. Not ordinary books, all great books. English, Tamil, English, Bengali, Sanskrit, any language. The book will come in the morning. Next day morning, the guy will come back, return the book, and get the next book. And this library was amazed. Every day, Vivekananda asks for books, big books, goes to him and comes back next day. Does he really read or just picks up? Some people do just pick up here some few words and they use it. Is he doing that? We normally suspect people who are giving us great lessons in life. We suspect immediately. Suspicion is a lot more easier than you try to tell somebody so and so is a good person. You'll say, yeah, fine. They don't seek for evidence of it. They seek evidence for it to prove it. But you say that person is a bad person, immediately you'll have judgment. You will deal with the person very carefully because somebody told me that person is a bad person. These are all the blemishes of the mind. So the librarian thought that way. And one day Vivekananda comes to the library himself, and the guy asked him, look, Swamiji, every day you take in books and voluminous books. Do you read them? He said, yeah, of course I do. Then Pariksha, he wanted to do Pariksha. So he asked, and he took some book and said, what he said. To his surprise, every book, every page, whatever he asked, he comes out from his mouth. It tells exactly the same page, same number, same text, same verbatim. So this is not a wonder in a Treta Yuga. It is in this Kali Yuga, witnessed, written down. How does it happen? Because his mind is absolutely blemishless, pure, like a mirror that reflects everything. Everything is there. It is not only his mind, even our mind is like this. You know, some people say, I went to Mahaparivar in Kanchi or to Sai, or any guru that you have, Ishta Guru, you go there. And Guru gave me some words and which just touches exactly what I want. I remember a Christian priest was there, that's a father in my school, college days. And he had this amazing capacity. You know, you go and talk to him. I think he's a very reverential person. And when you finish, you go to him, you know, he's also a past professor. You go there to ask some questions, but the lecture, his conversation is finished. The question you did not ask, but you did not need to ask anymore because he answered it. As if he read your mind. Because when you go there with the intense way to say, you did not verbatim made it, but it is there in your forehead, it is there, thought is there. Thought is also a matter. An insentient object like mind cannot make a sentient thing. Every thought is a matter. The way it reflects on his pure mind. He doesn't know he is reading your mind. Because you see, he is again a witness. That is why when you go to the great Guru and say, Guru, you read my mind. Guru said, I didn't do anything. Ishvara did it. If a Guru thinks I read your mind, then he is on a great fall. He is going to fall down. Because he knows it happens in the thought, I am a witness. So the Kshipta state is a state where the mirror is put in, everything is there. It's a kind of confused state. You read this, listen to these lectures, you read some Bhagavad Gita, then you watch a movie, you watch on YouTube, you have a fight with somebody else. In the evening, your mind is like a Kshipta. Everything is there. It is better than Muda because it is not dull, full of active. Tamas is gone, Rajas has come. But it's like, it is I think 90% of the time we are in this Muda or Kshipta state. Our mind is the Kshipta. So many things going on in the mind. You ask somebody, they think it's a fashion to say, how are you? Busy, man, busy. So many things going on in the mind. The busy is in the Kshipta state. It's not a good state to be in. So, Kshipta means you are better now. Your Sanjalam has gone down at least 10-20% of the time. Right now, for example, I am assuming that you are all given your mind to me. So you're not thinking about anything else. Your mind is therefore Kshipta, without Sanjala. But when I keep on telling you, you're not thinking about anything else. If I keep on, I'm putting a trigger, you'll think of something else. You know, when you say the guy goes to the saint and say, look, everybody says you are a great guy. I have this problem. Can you cure it? Let me see. He goes with a kind of arrogance. The Guru was quiet, but he was pestering him. He said, okay, take this bottle, go to the well, get some water. Take the water, drink it 3 times a day. That's it, he said. But before drinking this water, never think of a monkey. That's it. Yeah. He goes home, tells his wife, oh, I challenged the guru, he gave the water, just not to think about the monkey. I drink it. I'll have a bath and drink it. Comes home, have a bath, take the bottle. He takes it up, monkey comes in. Put it back, maybe after some time. 2 hours, he's forgotten about the monkey. See the bottle, takes it up, monkey comes in. The vritti has put a strong impression on the canvas. So Vikshipta is where that you forget that monkey and you say that. So it is better to increase the portion where you can be sanjalam without vacillation. But it does happen. Believe me, it happens. Every now and then it happens. The idea is to grab hold of that one and extend the horizon of it. Then it becomes ekagra. Now you say, okay, I can now ignore everything else. I'm not going to think. Raja, you may say so many triggers, but I am focused in understanding Tattva Bodha, Darshana. Every word I'm listening to. Ekagram. See, 90% of learning is finished when you take each word without even knowing the meaning. Let it go into your mind. When you read the slogam, no, Om Shri Mata Shri Maharajeshu. When you read the Sahasranama Sostram, Shri Mata, the word that goes in resonate your mind. It puts a seed. Ekagram is just, so when you are in Ekagram, that is a time you can do Japam. So everybody says, okay, now I've done this one, I do the morning puja, then I sit in Japam. But if you are in a Kshipta, Muda mode, even a Vikshipta mode, you cannot do Japam. See, remember, we are Satyamaham Brahmasmi. When you are in Japam and if you are thinking about what happened of this failure does happen. Therefore, we want to really focus on that objective alone. Therefore, the Ekagram is the position or the qualification of the mind that we need to be eligible to do Japa Upasana, Yoga Upasana. How do I achieve it? For that, we need to have the parts of Sangams, all this. We will look at it, how do you achieve this one? And if you do more than that, you become Nirodha, and you become one with the object. So our focus is to be having reduced sanchalam and to have a single-mindedness. So how do we achieve it? Just 5 minutes, I'll finish this one, this level. Sorry about this. So we achieve it by first karta karana viveka. Then we need a sense control. Because if manas is defined as the vritti from the senses, sense is something different. How do I control the senses? Therefore, we need the sense of Dhamma, which is the next one. The third one is satsang, like the one that we have now. We get some idea, some knowledge, some Mahatma may be sitting next to you, and he may just brushing upon it. You know, you can't read from the books, you see. Like a lamp can be only lit by another lamp, not from the photo of a lamp. Is it not? You can't take a lamp and say, this is a photo of a lamp, can I lit it? You can't. You can't take knowledge from a book. You can read so many times. You had to be near the lamp of satsang. In satsang, there may be many Mahans will be there. Some may be very quiet. Some may be just listening. Some may be talking. Some may be writing. Some may be just cleaning the place. So satsang is very important. And what is the benefit? Of course, a pure and a clear mind. You get peace. You know, when this canvas is untouched, it's going to be peaceful. Of course, the last one, more important one, the mind is peaceful, your body is peaceful, you become a very healthy person. Therefore, even a physical aspect of it, you become a very healthy person. Therefore, very important to focus on the mind. So I'm going to stop it here. It's a good break. I'm sorry I took more than 7 or 8 minutes. I want to give a logical stop, so we will continue the next class. Om Shanti. Shanti.
Okay. Thank you very much, Raja. And of course, It's very appropriate for the Guru Purnima also. Both the topics today were very highly focused towards Guru Purnima. So very excellent. And I think Naresh wanted to say something because for Guru Purnima. Would you like to say something, Naresh?
Sure, just a couple of moments. I won't take too long. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Rataji, for a beautiful session today. Like always, you enlighten our minds every week without fail. I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the whole class, and say that it's such an honor to have both of you giving us this Brahmagyan every Sunday. And Sunday being Ravi Vasaraha, the day of Surya, you enlighten our intellects. Thank you very much. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we will conclude with the recital of the Upanishad. This time we are going to be led by Natu-ji. Natu, please. I think you are on mute. Unmute. Okay. Sure. Sure. Now.
Asato ma Satgaya
Asato ma Gamaya
Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya
Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya
Mrityorma Mrdangamaya
Mrityoma
Amargamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.